to the another episode for the review of literature. In previous videos, we talked about what are the different purposes of the literature review, why we need to establish a context and the rationale behind conducting review of literature. Also, with the help of review of literature, how we can go ahead with understanding of the development of theoretical framework. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the evaluating research methodologies. When we talk about evaluating a research methodology, it supports in understanding the ranges of methodologies which are being used in the research. Now, what I mean by ranges of methodology? It supports in understanding the wide range of methodology where previous reports or research studies have conducted, ranges starting from the qualitative to the quantitative, from surveys to experiments, how it is being conducted through surveys or questionnaire, interviews, focus group interviews, or any new innovative methodology which will be supporting researcher to understand the how the current methodology can be carried out. It also supports in understanding the strengths and weaknesses of the research. Researcher critically analyze the strength and the weaknesses of each research methodology. This involves considering factors such as the level of control, the ability to generalize the findings, the depth of understanding, and also the potential for biases. By gauging what are the strengths and limitations, that is the pros and cons of each approach, researcher can make informed decisions about which methodology best align with their research objective and also the constraint. Next, we are going to talk about considering research objective. When we talk about the research objective in the context of the research methodology, it is a guide by specific research objective and the research questions of the study. Researcher considers whether the research questions require qualitative data or a quantitative data. Is there any requirement of hypothesis, causal relationship, or any new phenomena to be studied that supports in underlying the meaning? By aligning the methodology with the research objective, researcher ensures that the study is designed to address the research questions effectively and also adequately. Next, by evaluating the research methodology, researcher is getting the nature of the data. What types of data is required? What factors affect to the particular type of data? Is it quantitative? Is it qualitative? What is the level of measurement? Nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio, and how this data can be collected. By matching the research methodology to the characteristics of the data, the researcher can maximize the validity and reliability of the findings. The next in line is addressing the practical constraint. Practical constraints such as real-time constraint, which researcher may be able to find out while doing a current study, that could be time, budget, access to the participant, or sources can influence. Researcher evaluate the feasibility of each methodology in the light of this constraint. It considers the factors such as the cost effectiveness, scalability, logical requirements of the data collection and the analysis. By selecting a methodology that is practical and manageable, researcher ensures that the study can be conducted efficiently and effectively within the constraint of the research environment. And at last, it also supports in understanding that the methodology which are being used is sound or rigor or not. Researchers aim to select the methodology that is appropriate or valid, reliable, or ethical or not. This involves understanding the research standard and the guidelines. It minimizes the sources of biases, any standard error, any sampling error, any kind of error which ensures definitely the transparency, reproducibility in the research process. By upholding the research standard, researcher can generally um, gathers trustworthiness, reliability, and findings that contribute to the advancement of field in their research domain. This is for the evaluating the research methodology. Thank you for joining for today's lecture. We will talk about the research methodology in the next video. Thank you all.